"Attention!" a voice began to call, and it was as though an oboe had suddenly become articulate. "Attention!" it repeated in the same high, nasal monotone. "Attention!" Lying there like a corpse in the dead leaves, his hair matted, his face grotesquely smudged and bruised, his clothes in rags and muddy, Will Faranby awoke with a start. Molly had called him. Time to get up. Time to get dressed. Mustn't be late at the office. "Thank you, darling," he said, and sat up. A sharp pain stabbed at his right knee, and there were other kinds of pain in his back, his arms, his forehead. "Attention!" the voice insisted, without the slightest change of tone. Leaning on one elbow, Will looked about him and saw with bewilderment not the grey wallpaper and yellow curtains of his London bedroom, but a glade among trees and the long shadows and slanting lights of early morning in a forest. Attention. Why did she say attention? "Attention! Attention!" the voice insisted. How strangely, how senselessly. "Molly?" he questioned. "Molly?" The name seemed to open a window inside his head. Suddenly, with that horribly familiar sense of guilt at the pit of the stomach, he smelt formaldehyde. He saw the small, brisk nurse hurrying ahead of him along the green corridor, heard the dry creaking of her starched clothes. "Number 55, she was saying, and then halted, opened a white door. He entered, and there, on a high white bed, was Molly. Molly, with bandages covering half her face, and the mouth hanging cavernously open. "Molly," he had called. "Molly!" His voice had broken, and he was crying, was imploring now. "My darling!" There was no answer. Through the gaping mouth, the quick, shallow breaths came noisily, again and again. "My darling! My darling!" And then suddenly the hand he was holding came to life for a moment, then was still again. "It's me," he said. "It's Will." Once more the fingers stirred. Slowly, with what was evidently an enormous effort, they closed themselves over his own, pressed them for a moment, and then relaxed again into lifelessness. "Attention!" called the inhuman voice. "Attention!"